If you could take some brunch that a celebrity posted on their aesthetic Instagram and turned it into people, it would be Felicia and Rowena of Beauty Within. I absolutely love their channel. It is aesthetic, it is informative, it is fun to consume, just the way avocado toast is, and mimosas. They would literally be avocado toast and mimosas in human form. And needless to say, they have forced me to purchase quite a few things. I have had no choice in the matter. It was obligatory, and I was threatened with creme brulee and bubble tea. So I had to. And these are the things that they made me buy or try, and whether or not they worked for my skin. Felicia and Rowena have two different skin types, so it's really wonderful to see what does or doesn't work for them. I feel like they get to try a lot of awesome things. I genuinely trust their reviews, and they also put a lot of cool science and fun facts into their products, and everything is just so aesthetic. Like, it looks like a scrapbook in real life. And needless to say, they have taken that scrapbook, written love letters to my heart and to the outer layer of my stratum corneum, and forced me to purchase products that some I actually regret, and others I certainly do not. One of the first things that Beauty Within has made me purchase is this from Paulas Choice. They have probably spoken about this 6 different times. This is the Antioxidant Pore Purifier, and by the way, Paulas Choice is now available at Sephora. I didn't know that until yesterday morning, and when I tell you my sebaceous glands were happy, let me tell you, my sebaceous glands did their own little happy dance. It made my face a little bit greasier in the long run, but we don't talk about that. We let them celebrate this moment in peace. They literally called this life-changing. They said it was amazing for pores. It has salicylic acid and white tea. It has ascorbyl glucoside and CoQ10, and they literally said it transformed their skin.
This has been life-changing.
And knowing me with my little oily bits and loving Paula's Choice already, the fact that this is an antioxidant product that also helps for blemishes or blackheads was something I needed to get my hands on. They've called it a holy grail serum, say that you can use it every day. They say you can use it twice a day, and they put it just on their clogged areas.
I really like this, and it actually does minimize and like unclog my pores. And it's gentle enough for you to be able to use once or twice daily.
When I finally got this into my hand and when I started to put it on as a serum into my clogged places, I swear to God, it reminds me of like strawberry shortcake as a skincare product. Like if you took Miss Strawberry Shortcake, packaged her up, put her in a bottle, and made her good for my acne-prone skin, that's exactly what happened. And the fact that Beauty Within got me hooked on this is something I am so grateful for. Paula's Choice has a ton of amazing products that I use and recommend to others, but I don't always have a chance or the skin space to use everything on myself. And the fact that they recommended this and it works out so well for me and it's for all skin types, 10 out of 10, highly recommend, would buy again, and have purchased again. And now I could buy it again from Sephora. This, obsession is an understatement. This is my favorite fidget spinner, only it's not a fidget spinner, it's a skincare product that is aesthetically designed to be the shape of a rice grain. This is the Haruharu Wonder, and Beauty Within has made me purchase it. They've featured this multiple times as well. The way that they described it is that it blended into skin and it felt just like a second skin on your skin. It's a hyaluronic acid moisturizer that has a ton of antioxidants, but it doesn't make your skin feel overly weighed down or heavy. Now, it does have a slight lavender scent, which is not always my favorite, but I actually don't mind. But just like Felicia and Rowena said,
it's super fast absorbing to the point where the first time I used it, and after applying it, I almost felt like it was nothing on my skin. It didn't leave it greasy, it didn't leave it feeling like it wanted more. It was like just skin-like finish.
It really is a moisturizer. It just feels like a second skin. Like it doesn't feel like you're wearing anything. Make sure I didn't mess up my eyebrows there. I forgot I was wearing some eyebrow stuff. They did state that it was perfect for oily skin, which is why I tried it.
There's also red ginseng for soothing. All of these are designed for all skin types. I would say actually this one is perfect for oily skin.
And once I tried it, I learned a little bit more about the formula. They actually have fermented black rice in this and their other products, and that has, I think, 30 times the amount of antioxidants that white rice does. On top of that, it has hyaluronic acid, it has ginseng, and the brand has actually won multiple design awards, like for their design. And again, when I picked it up, I don't know why I forgot it was a grain of rice. I called it an egg. I was like, it's an egg with a chunk taken out of it. No, it's a little grain of rice, Cassandra. Sometimes I just hold this and I cuddle it on my stressed out mornings or late afternoons. Panorama has been hard for everyone, all right? I love that this line is really affordable as well. Beauty Within sometimes mentions some products that are pretty expensive, but this one is affordable. This one has been one of my go-tos. This has just been absolutely lovely, and I cannot thank them enough for getting me hooked on it. It really does feel just like second skin, like moisturized, but nothing else. Not sticky, nothing. Just antioxidants for my pores. Now this is a relatively new addition to my skincare obsession. This is from Summer Fridays. First off, the packaging is adorable. It's glass, so it's supposed to be more eco-friendly. Sounds beautiful. And it's called the Super Amino Gel Cleanser. Now, Beauty Within featured this, and they were talking about how they were intrigued, especially by the amino acids in here, and I did get very interested. Now, I haven't used this long enough to be able to tell you about whether or not I like it and how it's working for me. It was a little bit pricier, but it's definitely not luxury. I would say it's more prestige, but so far it's been decent. I do need to make sure that I test it with some makeup. For instance, I've only used it on makeup-free days so far, and it does kind of remind me of like a liquidy gel cleanser. Listen to that. Ready? Skincare ASMR. Skincare ASMR. And it's really, really lightweight. Now, the thing about amino acids is that they are supposed to penetrate into the skin better. They could have a couple of properties that are moisturizing, soothing, etc. Amino acids align themselves into peptide chains, which turn into proteins, but that doesn't necessarily happen on our skin. And I love amino acids in my moisturizers, in my serums, in my leave-ons, but in a cleanser, I don't know if it's doing much. So this one I haven't totally made my mind up on yet. I'm happy that Beauty Within recommended it because, again, Summer Fridays has been a brand that I've looked at Sephora for years and I've just never picked up and tried. But I finally did with this one, and the bottle looks great on my countertop. Again, brunch in human form, Felicia and Rowena. But as far as this one product goes, I wouldn't tell you to spend your money on it just yet. The one thing that I can say is that it's not stripping. It is pH balanced. Again, it has 11 amino acids, and it sits nicely on the skin. It doesn't give you that squeaky, overly dry, just stripped feeling. But again, haven't tried it on my mascara, liquid lipstick, full coverage foundation days, and I'll have to keep you updated because, with all due transparency, my Inky List Salicylic Acid Cleanser is pretty hard to beat. And it's like, what, $15? Just saying. Not trying to make comparisons here, but just saying. And can we talk about NIOD? I know you know about this skincare line because you have been asking me about it. Fun fact, August of 2019 is when I first reviewed it and used it, but for some reason a lot of people didn't see that video. So if you don't have notification bells turned on, or if you're not on Instagram or Facebook, we post videos there that you don't see here. So I'm just saying, she's kind of a content machine. She tries really hard. She speaks in the third person when she's insecure, but that's okay. This is the NIOD Modulating Glucosides, and Beauty Within is partially responsible for me being obsessed with this. NIOD is like The Ordinary's older sister. She knows what she wants and she knows how to get it. She's a little bit more expensive, she's bougie, she's not completely luxury, but she's got good taste. You know, she carries around a designer bag and she drives a fancy car, but she doesn't overspend when she has to. But she looks for quality, she looks for efficacy, and she's got a PhD in the microbiome and she understands how science works on the face. That is how I would describe this as a line, but this is not what no one else will tell you about NIOD. This is a video on what Beauty Within made me buy. So let's start with the Modulating Glucosides. This was described as ceramides on crack. They said that it is this nice yellow mustard color, which it is, and I must say, it is kind of like
ceramides on crack.
Yellow.
It's like mustard.
Yeah. So this one, if you have any sort of inflammation, irritation, if you overused chemical exfoliants, if you're cracked, if you're flaky, any sort of discomfort, I'll run to the Modulating Glucoside, because what this is formulated to do is to like heal your skin barrier back to life.
It's a really lightweight formula, so it blends into the skin nicely, but it moisturizes and just like soothes and supports skin like a really thick moisturizer, just without the thick moisturizer feeling. Felicia and Rowena specifically said that it was really good for anyone who struggles with inflammation, with a damaged skin barrier, especially if you have dry and flaky skin.
The Modulating Glucoside is my run to go-to friend where you need comfort to build you back to health.
I like inexpensive products. I like some products from The Ordinary for dry, flaky skin as well, but truly there is nothing that works as well as this. That is the truth. It specifically has EGCG, epigallocatogen 3 gallate, to really help to soothe the skin, and it's also got, I think, a Tasmanian pepperberry that they spoke about.
It's formulated with an oat ingredient, which we know really helps with calming irritated skin and itchiness. Then there's also ceramides as well as ginger root and just a bunch of other very like skin barrier friendly and repairing ingredients, and it will really calm down irritation. So if that's something that you're looking for, check out the Modulating Glucoside, people.
They said that this and ginger root were anti-inflammatory and antifungal. Anti-inflammatory, yes. Antifungal, I would have to look into. That makes me believe that this would be safe for someone who struggles with pityrosporum folliculitis, malassezia, or what the internet likes to call fungal acne. I haven't specifically tried it though, and if you're struggling with this fungal acne or tinea versicolor, don't go to the Modulating Glucosides, don't go to Beauty Within, don't go to me, go to your dermatologist. Get your fungal infections taken care of, my friends, okay? But if you do struggle with what the internet dubs as fungal acne, this might be a good option for you. We have done a video on why fungal acne doesn't technically exist. If you open this, you can see it in a new tab. You can edumedicate yourself, get yourself some skincare nerd informations. Would highly recommend. But this is also something that my pores would recommend to yours. They did say that it leaves the skin a little bit oily feeling. I would beg to differ. I didn't really find that. For a serum, I found it to be fine. It doesn't make my skin feel like oil. But again, they do have different skin than I do. My skin is acne prone, a bit oily, and during the winter it can get dry in areas. So, you know, to each face his own, or her own, or their own. Inclusivity. Then we've got the multi-molecular weight hyaluronic acid complex. I love this one, and Beauty Within does too. They've mentioned it probably 3 or 4 times. They talk about how it's super lightweight, how it just absorbs into the skin so beautifully. They say that it feels like water on the skin.
I love this because it has the pure form of hyaluronic acid, and there's also 15 different types of hyaluronic acid compounds in this. So if you guys are all about hydration, I don't think there's anything better than this. It includes everything from low to mid to high molecular weights of hyaluronic acid so that it will travel through, you'll hydrate different layers, and then just press that into the face. I know this is a little bit more expensive than you would normally pay for a hyaluronic acid, but I just feel like if you're looking for something that is going to complement your skin and work with your skin in the long term, as well as the fact that you're like a fan of hyaluronic acid, then this one takes the cake on how many different complexes that is formulated in with it.
And they love it for oily faces. Now, I know that they have mentioned it's a little bit more expensive. This formula specifically has 15 different forms of hyaluronic acid and at different molecular weights. And although we love that, I've been spoiled by K-Beauty. You know that I love Isntree. They have some hyaluronic acid products, specifically like a water serum and some creams that have 5 to 8 forms of hyaluronic acid. And for like $15 to $30 as opposed to this, which is many more dollars. It's lovely that it has 15 forms of hyaluronic acid. I just find it to be overkill. Is it lovely? Absolutely. Do I recommend it? Yes, indeed. However, if you're trying to save money, I feel like the Isntree is very comparable. Felicia and Rowena seem to love this a little bit more than I do. Again, it is a great one that I would recommend, but if you're more price sensitive, I feel like you can find great things at a less expensive price. They do say that it has a lightweight consistency and that it blends in really nice to the different layers of the skin. And again, because it is multi-molecular weight, it can do that. Just like that other video on fungal acne, we've debunked hyaluronic acid and why it can actually dry out some skin instead of be a humectant and hydrate the way it's supposed to. If you haven't seen that video, again, it is here for you or it is in the description. Get yourself some skincare edumedication, watch that video and get some skinfo and you can thank me afterwards. They say that you only need 1 to 4 drops, but again, I found that I need a little bit more. Again, the key ingredients in here that are supposed to be hydrating and moisturizing along with the 15 types of hyaluronic acid are the algae and the mushroom, as well as EGCG. So it is a really good blend. And if you have the money to spend on it, and if you identify with the big scientific big sister of the ordinary, you're ready to level up, go for it. But if you're looking for something less expensive, or if you're trying out hyaluronic acid or multi-molecular weight hyaluronic acid for the first time, I would recommend Isntree just because it's less expensive, it works well, you get 8 different forms of hyaluronic acid, and it soaks into my skin nicely too. Oh my gosh, this was not on purpose, I had it right here. But yeah, this is the water essence. Not the same, but comparable. They also made me try this Schwanen Garten Antioxidant Cleanser. They technically called this a K-beauty line, but Schwanen Garten is technically German, which I should understand because my Oma and Opa were German, but they really didn't teach me as much as they should have. So, sprechen Sie Deutsch? Nein. However, this cleanser is pretty good. What Schwanengarten actually means is swan garden. Again, I apologize for my horrific pronunciation, but apparently this is a K-beauty line, which is very, very interesting.
So what piqued Paula and I's interest with this brand specifically is that they're a clean K-beauty brand, like a very, very clean K-beauty brand. And their whole philosophy is about how antioxidants are the cure for many, many things in our life. There is sodium hyaluronate, there's lactobacillus ferment extract, which is soybean, and also willow bark extract. So there's a little bit of BHA in there as well. I'm fascinated by this texture because it's like water. You don't really see cleansers that are this watery.
This comes out just like a watery liquid, but it does kind of foam up nicely. I find that this does remove my makeup very gently, as well as kind of cleanse and purify the skin. It doesn't leave me overly stripped. It kind of has like this creamy custard feel. Like if you could imagine taking a bath in custard, that's what this would be. I have nowhere to wipe this now. I'm just gonna wipe it on my pants. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Stop judging. They did say that this was a very watery, very gentle cleanser. They said it felt hydrating and refreshing, but it wasn't as hydrating as other cleansers. And they didn't seem to love this one as much, but I actually became very obsessed with it. I find for my oily skin it works quite well. It also has those antioxidants in there for a little bit of skin support. I generally like those in some cleansers. And it does have glycerin, willow, and lactobacillus. Glycerin does keep it a little bit hydrating. Willow can be transformed by the skin into salicylic acid, which is generally good for people who have blemishes. This is not an anti-acne cleanser, but if you have acne, it's not gonna hurt. If anything, it could help a little bit. And then that lactobacillus, it's technically dead. It's not living bacteria, but some of this lysed bacteria can support the skin. It can soothe the skin, it can be moisturizing, and I have found this to be really nice. They also indirectly made me purchase the antioxidant Ampoule, the multi-active one, which I actually like a lot better. Again, when I was kind of looking at the different products, I saw this one next to it and I was like, just take my money, I'm gonna give this a try. And I am not sad that I did. This is a really nice antioxidant serum. And again, even though Beauty Within has not recommended this specifically, I don't think they've ever tried it, they ended up indirectly making me buy it, and I am not mad that I did. Rowena and Felicia also made me get the Function of Beauty skincare line. I know they've used the hair care and the skincare for ages now, but they specifically were the first people I really saw who used this cleanser. Function of Beauty does this customized hair care stuff. If you get it online, you can also get it in Target, but they're now doing customized skincare. Now, I got mine to say sisters, but Rowena got hers to say potato. So hers literally said Function of Potato, which was so nice. It made me giggle, especially since, if you didn't know, I have potato wives. We are all just this big sachet of Yukon potatoes that live in a corner of the internet, and we are all wives. Even the men and the non-binary friends, we're just all potato wives. Don't question it. If you are in the group, you know what I mean. Now, Felicia and Rowena did try the cleanser, the serum, and the moisturizer. I did not end up getting the moisturizer. I didn't want to spend a ton on it. I wasn't sure if it was worth the money. I might go back and get it. I know some people really like it, and to be totally transparent, as always, I actually think they've done an even better job with the skincare than they did with the hair care. The hair care is good. I use it, still testing it, doing an interesting video on it, but the skincare is even better. And Felicia and Rowena specifically got me to try this one. This is the Micellar Gel Cleanser. The way it was described and the selling point for me is not only that it's customizable to your skin's needs, but she actually said it was a kind of jelly. And because it's like a micellar gel cleanser, it just rinses off completely without stripping her skin. She said she only really needed to rinse it with water and it comes right off, which is so nice. And again, most micellar waters are the actual water. They are the liquid. This is definitely more of like a gel cleanser. Here, more skincare ASMR. Very nice. I could just pet my skin with this on all day. But whether you use it for a couple seconds or a couple of minutes, it actually breaks down makeup and dirt on the skin really well. Theirs are obviously going to be different than mine, especially because they are customizable, but based on my formula for my acne-prone and oily skin, I do love it. The bottle is very cute. It's this little gradient. I like it. You can also choose like the fragrance and the dyes of your products just the way you can with a hair care. And out of the function of beauty products that they made me try, this was definitely my favorite out of the two. Now the serum was also really good. Mine is a niacinamide serum. This again says function of sisters, but for them it said function of potato. This is very nice. It goes on well under makeup. It absorbs into my skin well and it doesn't leave that white cast behind. Sometimes niacinamide products can do that, but again, compared to the cleanser, I do like the formula of the cleanser a little bit more, although this is still good. I need to find a way to wash my hands. I need to stop wiping them on my pants. Oh, now my hands are all greasy and I can't even open my water bottle. You see, I'm supposed to drink the water every day, but all I end up doing is using it to get products off of my hands as I'm testing them. Probably shouldn't do this around all of the electricity that is in the vicinity. But look at them cleansers. I need to get like a filming towel. That's what I need. I need a little towel in my filming area. Stay hydrated. Overall thoughts on these is that the customized micellar water gel cleanser is a 10 out of 10. The serum, I would say it's like a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. It's still a good buy. It's still something that I like, but I found other niacinamide serums that I like a bit better. So I would definitely repurchase the cleanser, but I would probably buy the moisturizer next instead of getting a refill on the serum. They also made me try the Versed Daily Dissolve Cleansing Balm. They said that this was like jelly.
This is the new cleansing balm that I've been using. It's from Versed and we went to their launch actually. And what I liked was that everything is like fragrance free. They don't use a lot of those chemicals and ingredients that are questionable.
It already is kind of like the texture's kind of jelly.
Yeah, it turns like jelly. It's so lightweight, but this is so light. So if you like using cleansing balms, but you don't like that really heavy feeling, I highly recommend this. It has eucalyptus oil, vitamin E. It also has jojoba oil. They're very simple. They're very affordable. So I wanted you guys to be able to know that with cleansing balms, I don't feel like you need to pay a lot of money. And when I first tested it, I put on waterproof makeup because that's always the real test for any sort of makeup cleanser, and it took it right off. So this is really affordable and you can get it in Target.
They specifically said it was fragrance free with like no questionable ingredients, but it does have eucalyptus oil in it, and I found that that wasn't necessarily the best for my skin. I also don't agree. It doesn't really feel like jelly to me. To me, it feels more like a moisturizer that just happens to be a cleanser. Like if you could imagine using a somewhat oily moisturizer to remove your makeup, that's kind of what this feels like. The price point is right, it's available at Target, but I definitely don't love this as much as my Holika makeup removing balm. That is definitely a cult favorite for me. They have probably featured this 3 to 5 times, so I know that they really love it, but this just goes to show that everyone's skin is different, and this one just wasn't right for me. It does take off waterproof makeup like they said, and they do claim that it dissolves into more of an oil, which yes it does, but if I'm comparing this to my $14 Hamish cleanser or my Holika micellar water, there's just no comparison, and it's just, you know, it's good. I just don't know if I would buy it again. They did say that it's super effective and that it works like a dream, but that some people might be put off by the eucalyptus smell. Now, I don't hate fragrances in my products. I don't mind them at all. But in this case, they were right. I was kind of put off by the eucalyptus smell. And they specifically said that it doesn't sting the eyes. I did kind of find that this stung my eyes a little bit. And again, it could be that eucalyptus, it could be something. Doesn't mean it's going to do it for everyone, but this just wasn't the best match for me. They've also made me repurchase the Supergoop Invincible Setting Powder SPF 45. Is it invincible or invisible? It is invincible. That is a dyslexic person's nightmare right there. But this is 100% mineral and sweat resistant. It is essentially a makeup way to reapply your sunscreen. They were always speaking about how convenient this is, how on the go you can just touch up.
A lot of you ask how to touch up your sunscreen.
Ding! Yeah. So I love this is so functional. There's a little guard for your little whisks.
So it's basically you're setting your face after makeup or after just the sunscreen if you want to just go out with no makeup, and you just slightly tap it so that the powder you know is coming out, and then you just like dust it all over. So the thing with this is it doesn't leave any like flashback if you're taking photos, and it's just good to have around in your bag throughout the day to just reapply sunscreen in a powder form.
So general rule of thumb for me personally when it comes to sunscreen is that both are needed. This is first and foremost, this is throughout the day.
It is an SPF 50 and it is a really great way to reapply your sunscreen over makeup. However, I'm a little bit skeptical if it's actually giving you a full SPF 50, because even though a good amount of powder comes out, think about what a light dusting that is on the skin. I don't know if you're actually getting the full protection that you would, like if you were actually applying a cream sunscreen. Still, this is better than nothing. I would highly recommend it over makeup, but instead of just dispersing it from this brush onto the face, I actually recommend tapping some of it out and patting it on like with a powder, because I feel like I get a more full coverage version that way. Irregardless, they say that this is amazing for setting your face, whether it's over makeup or without makeup, and they say that you can keep it in your bag. They do say that it's perfectly portioned, but again, I say take it out just in case, just because. And they do say that they just carry it around in their bag as a reapplication form. Now, Beauty Within has made me purchase tons of makeup products as well, more so than just skincare, which SPF is your BFF, and I consider this skincare in a way. But if you would also like a video on the makeup products they have made me purchase, we could sit down and talk for another hour about that too. Overall, if you're not subscribed, fix that. And I'm not talking about to this channel, I'm talking about to theirs as well. Again, Beauty Within is so informative. If you aren't subscribed to this channel, or if you haven't liked it, make sure to do so that I can try products that other people make me buy so that you don't have to. And overall, always remember to be beautiful both inside and out. I've listed all of their videos below as well, so feel free to take a look, and I cannot wait to see you in this next one. Love you guys. Bye.